Standing on the top now. No, nothing can move you.
Next story. Now, look like an innocent couple. Look like they got kind eyes and a kind smile. Yeah, I used to be on the dating scene and people was like, Robert, you have a kind smile and kind heart. Man, don't be fooled by that stuff. Don't ever be fooled by that stuff. Because this guy with the kind smile and the kind heart killed 2 black people. All right, so I'm going to be reading from the Huffington Post. New England community reels after a double murder appears to be a hate crime. Appears. When it comes to black people, it appears. Asian, it is. The alleged shooter wrote about the superiority of the white race, about whites being apex predators, according to the district attorney. This same guy with the kind eyes and the kind smile with his lady friend drew swastikas everywhere. The source said the first time the Boston Globe wrote about Nathan Allen less than a year ago. It was a love story. You don't believe me? All right, so let me take his picture off and let y'all read this story with me. The first time the Boston Globe wrote about Nathan Allen less than a year ago, it was a love story, describing his perfectly executed wedding proposal and a marriage set against the backdrop of a killer pandemic. On Sunday, the Globe wrote about him in a second time. Allen allegedly executed 2 black people, in the words of the Suffolk County District Attorney, in what was being investigated as a hate crime before being gunned down for police. So, key word here, Allen allegedly executed 2 black people. Allegedly? Allegedly. How you gonna allegedly execute black? If you've been seen killing 2 black people, that's an execution. If that black person, if those 2 black people was not trying to harm you physically, if they were not a threat to you, then it's an execution. If you kill 2 black people for no specific reason, and we're going to go read into the story that there was no reason, this fool bypassed white people to go kill black people. Allegedly. And the other part right here, investigated as a hate crime before being gunned down. The only reason they was pushed to investigate it as hate crime because the black community decided to push back and say, you need to look at this as a hate crime. You always talk about the Asian hate, but you don't want to call what we go through hate. You want to say allegedly executed. You didn't say that about what happened in Atlanta. Allen died Saturday after exchanging gunfire with a Winthrop police sergeant who had responded to the chaotic scene, which unfolded in front of a terrified residents, including children. Now understand this, there's a term said when white supremacists use their tool, they break their tools. Brother Neely made that statement. After they're done with you, they're done with you. See, the reason they have no problem of throwing Derek Chauvin in jail is because he's just a modest sacrifice, because you're not going to get too many sacrifices like that unless the black community continue to do what they've been doing, coming together as one and pushing back against this stuff. Coming together as one force, going and protest at these people's houses, going to their jobs, calling for their resignation, and letting them know you're not scared. Allen died Saturday after exchange of gunfire. See, I honestly believe that, hey, I could take this guy out for the cause, or he may think I'll go down for the cause. Now, according to this, he's a white supremacist. Now, I don't like to give people that word. White supremacist is such a strong word. To me, white supremacists have to have some level of intelligence. He's just a bigot, a racist and a bigot. He believes he's superior and everybody else is underlings to the point that they're cockroaches worth exterminating. And got a lot of people think that way. And that's the problem with this country. Now, we all have our bias, maybe. Like I say, I fight hard for my community over everybody, but I still love all colors because I'm a humanist. I'm black first. I'm a humanist second. I love humans. I just hate the way humans try to manipulate and take advantage and dominate and think they're bigger or bigoted over the other ones. Rachel Wallen, the district attorney, announced investigators have found troubling white supremacist rhetoric handwritten by Allen. This individual wrote about the superiority of the white race, about whites being apex predator. He drew swastikas. Law enforcement source told Huffington Post these messages were found in notebooks, but wouldn't elaborate any further. It's unclear where police found these notebooks. Now, I don't trust that. Police could have came up with it. Still don't take away from the fact that he probably was a bigot. But all of a sudden, they don't know where it's unclear where the police found the notebooks. You got to understand, a lot of these police officers, not all of them, but some of these police don't mind. Some of them get into force just for the pleasure of dominating and even murdering. The seaside Boston suburb of Winthrop is now the home to yet another makeshift memorial for those killed in an alleged American hate crime. They keep saying alleged when it comes to black people, but you don't say that when it comes to other people. Asian get thrown on the ground and you call it a hate crime. And rightfully so. If you throwing around Asians on the ground because you hate them, call it as a hate crime. But somebody go around with swastikas and a notebook full of racist things and thinking they're better than everybody, he goes and killed two black people. One's a former military. The two people are former military. And one is a former state trooper or current state trooper. Let me go ahead and let's get ready to say that right now. Another memorial and an alleged, get the out of here, man, alleged American hate crime. That's right, bud. We do it. It's got to be alleged, man. You don't know what's going on. But when you guys do it, it's hate. White power. Candles, photos of the departed. Ramona Cooper, 60, an Air Force veteran. See, this is what I'm talking about. You go and lay your life down for this country. You get rewarded for it. You're a veteran now. You get to retire. You get a check. You get to live life you want. And some numbnut come and kill you. David Green, 68, a retired Massachusetts state trooper. I think David retired from the military and retired from state trooper. Getting 2 checks, living good. And some numbnut come and take him out. Another community is reeling, searching for answers to how this could have happened here. And also knowing that, of course, this could happen here. This, when it happens, always happen to people and places it shouldn't. These are the 2 people who were killed. Yesterday, retired Massachusetts State Trooper David Green and Air Force Staff Sergeant Ramona Cooper were murdered in one thought by a man who drew swastika and handwrote messages about whites being superior and apex predators. There's a difference between a predator and a weasel. There's a difference between a predator and a weasel. A weasel do this. What did these people do to you, man? He's dead and gone. But what did these people do? These people were good, upstanding, working citizens of this country. From probably 9 times out of 10 homeowners. Served their duties as civil servants, law officers, and military. And this numbnut goes and kills them. Let me keep reading. These days, perpetrators of such heinous crimes often leave behind evidence of their hatred online. Racist posts on social media, trolling chats on Gab, 8chan, maybe even a manifesto. But Allen's digital footprint appears apolitical and mundane. An instant account full of pictures of his wife and their pet rabbit. Puff, a LinkedIn account describing a blossoming career as a physical therapist, and a Facebook account he used only 1 week ago to wish his wife a happy birthday. So on the surface, socially speaking, he looked like a pretty good guy. But 2 murders later and a found notebook with some racist stuff in it, who knows? Who knows? He probably did kill these people as a hate crime. And it should be investigated as a hate crime, whether it was him or somebody killed him and blaming it on him and trying to leave evidence that he did it. I don't care. It's a hate crime, and whoever did it should have been able to not just get killed, but should have been brought in for justice. They killed this dude. Killed him. A dozen of his Facebook contacts have posts, many of whom he made recent posts celebrating Pride, showing support for Black Lives Matter. Most didn't respond or declined to talk about Allen. One acquaintance who knew him from Warham High School down on the South Shore remembered him as a pretty normal kid with a family that was very loving and sweet. Another acquaintance said they were blindsided by the news of what he did. Of course, they always say that. Oh, he was a nice gentleman. I mean, he used to babysit my kids. I would never think he would do something like that. I'm shocked. Well, sometimes it do be people. They do. Sometimes you don't know these people. And they are maniacs. They'll smile in your face, but behind the scenes, they do these evil things. But then again, you got some people set up and made to look like maniacs. Was this his case? I honestly don't know. Keep going. Only the Globe could find someone. One of Allen's neighbors who described him as a little off. Only the Globe could find someone, one of Allen's neighbors who described him as a little off. When a Globe reporter buzzed Allen's apartment, a woman answered the call from the building lobby, but quickly hung up, the newspaper reported. This shooter was married and employed, Rollins said in his statement. He had a PhD, no criminal history. To all external sources, he's likely appeared as unassuming. And then yesterday afternoon, he stole a box truck, crashed it into another vehicle, and properly walked out from the wreckage, interacting with multiple individuals and choosing only to shoot and kill 2 black people he encountered. This is crazy. So this guy never had a footprint of being a bigot. Everybody think he's nice. Oh, he support Black Lives Matter. A lot of time people do that, throw themselves off to make them seem like for something when they're really not for something. But then again, Let's say he was. That don't prove anything. If he could have killed people and got away with it, they would have used that as evidence to try to say he didn't do it. The bottom line is this, and I'm not even going to finish the story. This guy allegedly killed 2 people. Now, do we have any video footage of it? I don't know. Do we have any evidence of it? I don't know. All we know is they say he shot 2 black people. He bypassed white people, even had conversations with white people. I'm looking at 2 cameras. I'm sorry. He bypassed white people to go kill these 2 people. Now, a person do something like that is not only sick in their mind, not only is he a bigot or a racist, it sure ain't no white supremacist, because white supremacy ain't got to go around shooting you. That's a bigot and a racist. I don't want to give, to me, that's a smart white supremacists ain't got to do foolish stuff like that. Shoot people in broad public. Bypass white people who can witness to the fact that he shot black people. That's a dumb bigot and dumb racist. Killed 2 outstanding, hardworking black American citizens. Now, he paid the penalty. Another cop killed him. Now, folks, in this country, I try to see beyond what I'm a seer. You know what a seer is? And, y'all may think I'm wacky, but spiritually, I can see things that other people don't see. I don't know why. But it's coming a time now, especially in Texas now, everybody can carry a firearm. They're going to use any excuse to kill a black person because they had a firearm. But they ain't going to use any excuse to kill a white person or take a white person out when they have a firearm. Matter of fact, it's going to be more white people taking out black people just for the simple fact. I saw that he had a gun. Well, I got a permit. I'm in Texas. I got a right to have a gun just like you. I saw the gun in his pocket. I saw it in his back of his jacket. Was he pulling out? No, I saw it, so I shot him. That's what happened in Texas recently with this brother on the highway, which we're going to talk about another day. It's going to, I don't trust some of this stuff. Like I said, white supremacists, they're on another level of thinking when it comes to exterminating, so to speak. Eradicating, getting rid of, on a whole another level. They can use chemicals. Not saying they can use medication. Some can flat out shoot somebody and then put it on somebody else. Now, I'm not saying this situation, in this case, this guy probably is a bigot, but I don't trust none of this stuff. None of it. None of it. 2 black people died. It don't matter how they died, they're dead. And whether it was somebody killing somebody or far off and they blame it on this guy because this person was a bigot who shot him and he got the blame for it and they pinned him on it, or this guy was a psychopathic bigot who decided to kill 2 black people for no reason. It's still wrong. Now they're changing the laws, and especially in Texas, you're gonna see more of this. That's why you're not gonna ever see me in Texas, hardly. There's gonna be a lot of black people that believes in their Second Amendment rights, their ability to carry a gun. But there are going to be a lot of people that are going to use that as excuse when they see a black man with a gun. They're going to lose their freaking mind, or on purpose kill a black man and say he tried to kill me. How? Well, he had a gun on him. Did I pull it out? It looked like you were going to pull it out. Anyway, this is a sad story. That's why we really, really got to push hard to deal with police accountability number one. Number two, mental health accountability, making sure people get the mental health their need. And this is another reason why we need to continue to push back and educate people different from this white supremacy, bigotry, racist thinking. Hate is going to always be around. You can't legislate hate. I mean, you can legislate it and put people in jail for it, but it just going to go to jail hating. It's just going to increase the hate in them even more. So stop trying to legislate good and hate. But what you can do is try to educate these people early to let them know that their thinking or their being brought up is totally screwed up. Why do a Dylan Roof go out and kill a bunch of people in church? Act like he's coming there to get church support because of the bull crap that's been planted in his mind. And you don't want nobody teaching people about a history of this. Well, I'm sorry, baby. We're going to teach people about a history of this type of stuff, and ain't nobody going to stop us. This kind of ticked me off. They actually did an article on 5 facts you need to know about Nathan Allen. I don't give a crap about Nathan Allen. Nathan Allen was named as a gunman who shot and killed a retired Massachusetts state trooper and Air Force State Sergeant after crashing a stolen box truck into a building in Winthrop, Massachusetts on June 26. He left behind white supremacist racist writing targeting Jews and blacks, authorities said. Now it went to Jews. Not just black Jews. He told a neighbor he worked as a physical therapist. All right, let's get to the story. All right, here's a picture of Nathan with a gun. Shooting suspect Nathan, Suffolk District Attorney said preliminary investigation indicated Allen targeted the victims because they were black. Okay, so we got him with a gun. Asked whether the victim was targeted for the color of his skin, Rollins said he walked by several other people that were not black, and they're alive. They were not harmed. They're alive, and these 2 people of color are not. Stop calling black people colored. Nathan is a color too. All right, here's the picture of Trooper Green. Here's a picture of Ramona. Sad. Now let's go to this. 5 facts about this dude. Police believe Allen, who they say left behind racist and anti-Semitic rhetoric. Oh, now you're leaving by anti-Semitic rhetoric. Got to get the Jews in this one. We can't make this about a hate crime against black people. Folks, they're changing the story because they don't want us to collect evidence that they need to push a bill to protect black people. See, Asians are a protective class like the bald eagle. Black people, not so. And now we see stuff like that. They don't want to, soon as something happened concerning us, they want to put in anti-Semitic rhetoric. The dude didn't kill any Jewish people. He killed black people. He stole a truck. This guy stole a truck. Rollins revealed, let's go to number 1. Police believe Police believe Allen, who they say left behind racist and anti-Semitic rhetoric, stole a box truck owned by a plumbing and drain company. Rollins revealed that the suspect wrote anti-Semitic racist statement. No, he wrote racist statement and killed 2 black people. Stop trying to add this anti-Semitic. No Jews was harmed in this. 9 times out of 10, he probably was Jewish himself. There's some troubling white supremacist rhetoric that was found in Nathan Allen's own handwriting. We read this over and over again. This particular article want to add the anti-Semitic stuff in there. Just to water down the black hate message. That's what it is. They want to water down the black hate message. This is the van. Now, hold up. This can't be the van. This looked like a regular car. I don't see any markers on this one. There's a truck.
Yeah.
The mass shooting started with a stolen police vehicle. All right, so we already know that. Number 2, Allen had a lawful license to carry a firearm. Met his future wife at UMass, took her to McDonald's on their first date, showcasing a mundane life. Who gives a crap? Why are y'all telling us this boring mess about his life? I don't give a crap. Understand that Allen had a lawful license to carry a firearm, so he killed 2 people with a registered gun. What would he do? He met his future wife at University of Massachusetts. Who gives a crap? It all starting in the most romantic setting imaginable. Why are you guys doing this in this article? The dude killed 2 black people, not two Jews, 2 black people. So why are we hearing about his romantic life? The Birch Grill at UMass Dartmouth, 7 years, 3 apartments, and 2 rabbits later. What the This is ridiculous. Allen worked at a middle school and senior care home, emphasizing his duties, including creating a safe environment. Well, he dropped the ball on that one. Because the environment he just created was he crashed a truck into whatever, got out, bypassed white people, bypassed Jewish people too. That because most Jews look white. Most Jews are white. Bypassed them to kill 2 black people. A witness described the shooter as shoeless and disoriented. Oh, now he must be have a history of mental illness. They ain't gonna put this up here to make him look like he insane. Get out of here with this crap. Stop with this. You don't do that when it comes to Asians being killed. You'll probably say it was a homeless guy that did it. Heck, now you ain't got to say Asians got killed. Somebody got knocked on the ground. It's a hate crime. But as soon as we get somebody that shoot us probably point blank ranged, you gotta humanize this guy and make it seem like he had trouble, that he was ill. But if a black person kills somebody, that black Negro, he wasn't insane. I don't want to hear about his story about how he grew up with single parents, and I don't want to hear that crap. There's no excuse, buddy. No excuse. You black people always using that as a crutch. What do you think you're doing right here with this mess? Allen was a little off. We all a little off. But we all ain't going around killing folks. And we ain't targeting colors. So why is this newspaper going through these 5 facts about Nathan Allen? Who gives a crap about all this? The reason they're doing that is because they're trying to defuse us from having the ability to use this as a tool to push for anti-black legislation. They fear that we're going to start pushing hard about anti-black legislation, anti-black hate. Well, guess what, buddy? We going to push for it, and we ain't going to stop pushing for it. This guy did not kill any Jewish person, no matter whether he had any anti-Semitic information in that pad or not. He went out to black people. He bypassed white, went straight to black. Pow-pow. Rat-a-tat-tat. Stop trying to make excuses for this. Y'all didn't make excuse for George Floyd, and he got murdered by a cop. Y'all try to make every excuses why he brought it on himself.